Ultimate Cup was this past weekend. It was, again, the most insane meta that we've had in Digimon. Apocalymon was unrestricted. So Apocalymon was running around rampant at full force, meaning they were able to do all the like purple, blue, Gabu bottom end and like trash, draw and trash like crazy. And then be able to get their Dark Masters in the trash fast enough for them to do Apocalymon on turn 2. And then maybe a second Apocalymon on turn 3. It's kind of insane. There are a few decks that could work against it, right? A lot of people were thinking Beelzemon will work against it, or because it's already helping them with the trash. Red Hybrid is fast enough and getting stuff in the trash. Machinedramon, same thing. Spoiler alert, what ended up taking it was a Numemon deck. And the top 2 from yesterday's event was Numemon. So it was Numemon versus Numemon, which is crazy because it just floods the board so fast. They have no way to deal with it. They're just swinging and swinging, playing themselves out for free, and it's kind of actually insane. But I have a deck list that I think was good for Machinedramon. I really like this deck list, so I want to share it with you guys. Machinedramon deck list. For our eggs, we are still going with the Doraemon. In this current meta is so cracked, and I will tell you why later, but it's just so good. There's a way to proc this every turn, even without the Chaos Chaostra X antibody. Okay, the Dorumon, we're running 3 of right now. I really like the Dorumon. Gaining the memory on your turn is pretty clutch. Sometimes what people like to do is really to hurt Machinedramon is give them as little memory as possible, choking them. This stops them from being able to do that, which is also why I usually will run a memory setter of some kind in Machinedramon, just because no one really runs that usually. And I've come to find that if you analog man too often, you just lose all your like level 5s too fast. This is a great way to gain the memory to draw each turn without them being able to stop you unless they have a memory blocker or something. And I just run the 3 of right now because there are good rookies in this set right now. So I'm currently running 3. I may even go down to 2, but I'm okay with 3. Just so you know, the on play, it does work because you can pull your Chaosdramon X antibody these days. So it's not completely useless on play. Our newest addition to the Machinedramon level 3s, Beastly. This Hagurumon is awesome. It does its reveal top 3 of your deck, add 1 card with Machine or Cyborg, and add 1 black Tamer card to hand, and then return the rest of the deck bottom. Sometimes we just need to find our Tamer. On play, you get to see the top 3, and then you get the Machine or Cyborg, whatever you need in hand, but you do bottom deck. So just be careful when you use this. It's the same as like Black Memory Boost. You could lose your stuff. But with Supreme Connection, this is less scary because you could make sure that you get the pieces and you don't lose the pieces that you don't want to lose, right? Also, it has inherited as reboot. It's crazy. If you don't find your Doru, you just do it in the back and you have it. And now you don't have to worry about getting your level 5 that has a reboot in it. So we can take out a lot of our level 5s that have reboot. I actually just have 1 now. So this is the Haguru. And of course, because we were going against Apocally, we did the Chakuri. We do 2 of the Chakuri. Honestly, I didn't get to see it as often as I would have liked when I needed it. This current meta, I probably should have kept a Chumon. So you could do 1-1 or even like take down 2-2 on these guys and then put in 2 more Chumon along with these 2 just to mess with them. Because sometimes we don't really do our raising anyway. We try not to put these guys in raising. If you get these in raising, you get them in raising. If not, we have ways of putting out Machinedramon for cheaper now with the Supreme Connection that we don't have to have it come from the back. We don't use the BT11 Machinedramon as much anymore. Our newest addition is the Airdramon for the level 4s. On play, when Digivolving, by placing 1 Marvin Jackson from your hand as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So it's essentially a 5 cost on play de-Digivolve, and you get a body on board, or you get a Tamer, or you Digivolve for 2, and then you get a Tamer out for free, and you de-Digivolve one of their guys. It's pretty insane. And then you can end turn, right? Or if you don't have to end turn, Marvin Jackson gives it jamming and blocker, so you can swing, and this guy has reboot on its own, so you Digivolve into a level 5 and pass turn. Probably one of the level 5s that you would reveal things and then get things in hand, and then past certain, it'll reboot. So at least people can't swing into it. If they can delete it, they can delete it. But at least your level 5 has done what it needs to do. And you've got your Marvin Jackson out, right? The Airdramon's really good. I really like it. The other one is now our Raremon. It's a 4 cost, essentially, or when Digivolving. Trash 1 card in hand, draw 2. So it helps us to unbrick. You don't really want to Digivolve onto this guy because it's a 3 cost, especially in the back. In the front, at least you like get to do the thing. But other than that, it's just like good for the when attacking, the inherited. When attacking, trashing 1 card, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. It's nice to be able to get rid of like their little annoying floodgates, right? This guy works really well with some of the tamers that I run. Also, it's also treated as a cyborg, so it's a target for all of our stuff, unlike the Airdramon. This is our other guy that's new, our Guardiamon 5. Digivolve for 2, on play, when Digivolving, trash 1 card with machine or cyborg, and this Digimon cannot be deleted by your opponent's effects until the end of the turn. Oh, one of your Digimon. Sorry, you don't even have to give it to him. You can give it to the other guys. It's pretty insane. Opponent has no Digimon. This Digimon can't attack. So there is that caveat as well. But it is a blocker, and it does give reboot. So I really like being able to Digivolve this in the back. But sometimes I just hard play it if I need to. Our level 5s, of course, we run the 2 Metal Greymon. Attack unsuspended Digimon. It's pretty insane. You don't want to Digivolve it in the back because it does have a good Digivolve and then pop a 3000 or less, but we rarely ever use it. We just use this alongside our heavy mobile to be able to delete annoying bodies that are unsuspended. The other 2 of that we do is now the Megadramon. On play or when Digivolving, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Among them, take 1 machine, cyborg, or SOC trait and place it underneath this Digimon's Digivolution cards. And then you add 1 such card to your hand and trash the rest. Pretty crazy. If you can pull out a Marvin, a cyborg that you want in hand, and a cyborg you want trash, like a level 5 cyborg, you trash that. This card is so good. When attacking, if you have a Marvin in the Digivolution cards here, when you swing, you can delete a 3-cost Tamer or Digimon. It's so good. The Inherited is when attacking, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. I think it's just, this is my baby right now for this. I just bought 2 alt arts for this because I needed it. Megadramon, we know this one. When Digivolving, delete a 3 play cost Tamer or Digimon. And then when attacking, do the same thing. Don't want to go too much on the 4 cost Digivolves or the 8 cost drops. So I brought this down to 1. The plus 3000, we have the security plus, we have another security plus, and another security plus. I like to be able to have a lot of security plus so I can just like swing out. There's a lot of like Machinedramon players that we don't have as many security pluses, and then you end up losing the game by decking out or whatever. You can't close out game. This is the other one. I like to have swing and trash security. That way I can delete the bodies and then trash a security, and now you're safer. And that works really well if you have the piercing, because then you can pierce, do 3 checks, and trash. That's 4 checks. And it would be even better if you were able to have the Metal Greymon somehow underneath so you can swing into somebody that's unsuspended. Here's another plus 2000 because I needed big bodies. Apocalymon's 1500 or 15,000 just in case I needed to. But thinking, let me just put out the others. My blocker, my reboot, and my delete 5 play cost or less. These 3 are a must in my deck. I feel like this helps you unbrick really well if you can get like your Raremon and then do this. So these for me are really important because you're just dead in the water if you don't have your level 6s in this deck. Okay, so this is my current lineup. I love it. I kind of want to make room for my Cyberdramon all turns plus 2000 inherit. 6 cost to play because now with Supreme Connection that costs 3 to play. But I gotta figure out where I want to put them in. For my level 6 split, my BT11s, I've gone down to 2 Machinedramon BT11s because sometimes we just don't do the whole raising stuff. But the on Digivolve, on play is still very powerful. If we're bricking, this helps us get like all of our level 5s in trash if we need to and pull other things. So it's very, very important. Also, it does help cheat out our Machinedramon. People forget that it has the on deletion, and when they delete it, you bottom deck your analog and you play a Machinedramon from hand, gain all that memory back. And sometimes you just use it as a bluff. So there is that possibility as well. These are great, but they're not super, super powerful in this meta right now. I feel like this Machinedramon, I might go up 1 but I'm currently running 4 of the Chaos Dramon. It's just a little crazy. Now with Supreme Connection, we play this for 9. If you have the Heavy Mobile, you de-digivolve 3, swing it to the body, hopefully if you have the Metal Greymon, and then you just delete their whole body and their whole board state if you need to, because you can de-digivolve them. I want 1 more of this. I might even go down to 1 in this and then do 3 of this. Essentially, with Supreme Connection, you can play this for 4 because it costs 9. You gain 5 memory, so it just costs 4. It's crazy. And then I'm running the 2 Chaos Dramon X. This was also tough if you don't see it, but running any more than that feels bad. Too much of this in hand, it doesn't feel good. You just want to run the 2. Now here's a tech that I did that I don't love. I did it for a Pokemon. Omni Mercy Mode. It never came up. When I was getting beat up by a Pokemon, it just never came up. It made no sense for me to go into the Mercy Mode, or it just felt bad to pass turn into the Mercy Mode, or they were just too fast. Because the thing is, like, they have it all in trash before we can even get our bodies up to the Mercy Mode, because you can only Digivolve over these guys, right? Can't go over these guys. I should have gone with a different tactic. My other tactic that I was going to do was Gallantmon, the Royal Knights one, the BT15, the secret one. I should have done that. I should have taken out one of these guys. I play that and then play the Ragnar Lord as a top end to just be like come out of nowhere and win. Because the thing is, now this guy plays for 4. If I have 4 memory, I play it out for 4, right? Swing out with my Machinedramon, play the Gallant, swing, and then Ragna, and then win game. Like, this is gonna be like late game because you need a certain amount in trash, but I might do that. I personally might do that. We'll try it out. I don't. The reason why I didn't go with that route, by the way, is because I don't have a Gallant secret rare, the secret rare one, because I gave mine away to friends. Option cards. Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. We all know what that does. If you're watching this, you know what it does. But essentially, it gives it Rush, On Play, Blitz, and all that stuff. I'm gonna go back up to 3. I have 2 right now. I need 3. It's too little. The new Supreme Connection. I love it. I was running 4. I went down to 3 because sometimes it just felt bad to have. You can't stack it. And the thing is, when you open up the 5, if you get 2 in hand, when you open up the 5, and you are able to get 2 things, you can't just play it again because you're gonna still see the 3 that you didn't grab. So you're only seeing 2 more. So you want to kind of like wait before you do it again. But then sometimes then you'll have to wait for like the next turn or whatever. And I feel like 3 is enough. I saw it enough, and it coming out of security is always nice because I don't have to pay for it. But I want 1 more of this because there were moments where I was like, oh, if I just had this, I would win right now. Now this is where I need to cut down a little bit on my tamers, but I'm such a big fan of having a lot of tamers, so I don't know where I'm going to cut it down. But currently I'm running only the 2 of the Analog Man, which I think this might be where I cut down. Maybe I go down to 1 for the Analog Man. But Analog Man is so good, you know, being able to like redirect with the BT11 Machinedramon, bottom decking it and playing out a Machinedramon, all of that. If this comes out of security, your Machinedramon now can block, etc., etc. It's scary. It's good to have, right? But these guys were insane. Marvin Jackson is so good in this deck for me, okay? Because if you have the Dorimon and the Dorumon, during main phase, you can just move it under to get the memory and draw. It's insane. You just can do it whenever. But you have to have a Cyborg on top or an SOC, which the rest of our deck is. So as long as the Doru has Digivolved into like Airdramon or whatever, you can just do it anytime. So as long as you have those 2 and this, you slip it in, gain the memory. Because as long as it just says when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, draw 1. And the other one, same thing, except you gain a memory. So it's insane. And you can't be choked as easily because now you can just trash a card with Machine or Cyborg or SOC in hand to gain 1 memory. It doesn't have to be a level 5. Sometimes you don't want to trash your level 5s to gain the memory and draw 1 because you don't know if you'll have another one if it's your only level 5, right? The last one, this was actually one of the MVPs of the deck. And I only put this in because of 2 people, or is able to put it in. 1, Digipanda. DigiPanda came up with this idea and like told me about it, and I was like, that's not a bad idea at all. And then as I was playing it and testing it out myself, I was like, oh my god, this is so good in so many ways. But I didn't have the card. I didn't have this card. It's a cheap card. It's like a 5-cent card. But can you guys guess what it is? But I didn't have it. So I would have had to go somewhere to go buy it. And the closest place that was around, that was already open, because I needed to send in my deck list, was an hour away. And it would have cost me $15 to get it. Matt from Starter Deck 16. When everyone I played against that saw this was like, what the heck? Well, you have a mat. And they're like, oh, it's so good. Think about it like this, right? We get choked out a lot. I usually run the Izzy. The Izzy's great because you pop it in security, right? And then it gives me a memory because I have all black cards. The Izzy, that's it. After once you play it, it's done. That's it. And it's a memory setter for 3, right? Once you play it, it's done. It's just there. It's just a dead card. But this mat, you play it for 4, right? Say they set you, they have to set you at a 3 now. They set you at 3. You have the perfect stack in the back, and you've got Marvin and Analog Man. Okay? Got 3. You push out. Right? You trash with Analog Man, gain a memory, tap the mat, gain a memory. Gain a memory. You're at 6 now. Right? You push the Marvin Jackson underneath the Dory and Doru, gain another memory. You're at 7. You can play 2 Machinedramons and put them at 1. Right? There's a lot of craziness that happens with Matt. Say you don't have any of that. You're at 3, right? You don't have Marvin, you don't have Analog, you don't have the Dory. But you need 4 memory. You play Attack of the Heavy Mobile, you trash one of your guys, tap the mat, you're at 4. Or you just have the Marvin and the mat. No Heavy Mobile, nothing. You trash this, gain a memory, mat, you're at 5. So now it just stops them from like really screwing you over. I feel like Matt is a must in this Machinedramon deck from now on. I'm probably gonna go down to this for the Tamers. Like, this felt bad in hand sometimes. And then we can go into another Heavy Mobile, or we can put in the take this out for the Ragnarlord and then put in the Gallant once I get it instead of this. But the Matt's the Tamer. Like, it's not Analog Man, it's Matt and Marvin Jackson. This is the Tamer. Because this also gives you blocker. Marvin Jackson gives you jamming and blocker. Do you think about counters to your deck as you make it? Something you think about after you made it? With Digimon, the meta is so wide so that you can't just think about one singular thing. Sometimes you just kind of have to play according to your playstyle instead of like trying to think about how to beat a certain deck. Because I thought about just beating Apocalypse with the Chikuris, I didn't think about the Chumon, having my Chumon that's a memory blocker. And a lot of the problems that I ran into were the Chumon. Like, if I had a Chumon, they would have been screwed. But I only had Chikuris in hand. So, yeah. That is the Machinedramon deck list that I ran in Ultimate Cup in the most effed up meta ever. And I hope never to do it again.